another interesting segment on 100 Nigeria. So today we will be handling the Q&A segment, episode 32. For those of you new to my channel, it's a segment where we get to answer questions sent via email, WhatsApp, or comments made on the comment section where I have to throw more light on because the subscriber basically needed an answer to the question. So without wasting much time, let us dive to the first question. So a lady said, anyway, why are men blaming women for male kids when it's the man's fault as he carries the Y chromosome to produce a male child? So instead of divorcing himself and blaming himself, he would destroy his wife and girl kids to go and marry another or sex with another woman when it's him the problem. Please educate yourself. Well, you have a very good point, but all of this depends on the man you end up with. And that is why I keep saying not every man is for you. When picking a man, make sure to pick one who has a functional brain, a man who can sit down and reason things out, think. If you date a guy who is backward, daft, needs people to help him think and even make decision, or is following some traditional norms because he cannot think things himself. You would have this problem, because he's going to start comparing you to others. Well, okay, you say I carry the Y chromosome, but what of that man? He carry it too, but the wife is having male children. He's going to run comparison with you and the guy in the village, the other guy in Malaysia, the other guy in Thailand, and when he gets all this comparison, plus these people who are like minds like him, telling him the same thing, the marriage is bound to fail. So the partner you pick determines the success of the relationship. Hope that answers this. Okay, another lady said, could you give more information on older men, especially those on dating sites? Thank you. Well, the truth is, if you are dating an older Nigerian man or you are starting to talk with one, one thing that comes to your head always is that they are serious, given their age, which most times is the truth. But there are certain things that you need to make sure are in place before you progress, go deeper, or take a step further in the relationship. Please, you have to ask these questions. Why is he single at this age? Very important. Why is he single at this age? You have to ask him, why are you single at this age? Because I was told Nigerians marry at this particular age. So why are you still single at this age? If he says he didn't meet the right person, which happens, then you will have to ask, what makes him think you are the right one? You have to pay close attention to his character in this situation. You also need to ask if he has been married before. If yes, you need to ask what happened. You need to get full details. You need to get yourself armed with evidence, to show why he's actually single after being married, not just what he tells you with his mouth. That is not important. You also need to ask, does he have kids? You want to know, has he got kids? Does he have plans to have more kids? If he's got kids, whose custody are the children in? Like the wife is in custody of the children, or or are you guys co-parenting? How is the co-parenting situation? How often do you have to speak to your wife because of this? You need to have a full, deeper understanding of the situation, especially with his ex-wife, before you start dating this mature man. Because the truth is, you may be dating someone's husband without you knowing. I've seen cases like this, 4 or 5 years dating someone's husband. At the end of the day, the man sent a long message apologizing and how the devil used him and that. So you really have to be careful when you're dating this particular kind of Nigerian men. Another question is, marriage is not important thing to Nigerian men. If all they want is kids or male kids, and if not get, they move to another woman. This is not marriage. Marriage is self-sacrifice to each other, to better each other, and to give each other. If no kid, it's still marriage. You can give to those around you. So what? On the contrary, guys, marriage is very serious and important to Nigerians, especially Nigerian men. Nigerian men want to settle down. Nigerian men will get to a stage and they want to settle down. They're looking for a partner. So, if you want to have kids, the logical thing for us to do is to get married. Cohabiting is frowned on in our society, where you just meet a lady and say, "Yo, you don't need to get married. It's just a certificate," and then you live together, and then you raise children. It's frowned on because at the end of the day, when the man decides to walk out, the women suffer it more. There's nothing or any way to actually go fight that man, to get some legal rights. So cohabiting is totally frowned on in our society. So when we want to settle down and start having kids, the right way we do it is to first get married. You have Nigerian men who are married to women, and for whatever reason, they couldn't have their own kids, and they're still together. I know a lot of Nigerians were married 20 years, 30 years, they're still together. Some even had to adopt. You got Nigerians who are married and they have female kids all through, and they are still happy together. But this doesn't rule away or take away the fact that every Nigerian man who hasn't had kids wants one when they get married. And most want male kids. It doesn't take that away. Male kids that can carry their names. But you see, all this depends on who you end up with, especially the ladies, the Western ladies, who you end up with, plays a huge role on the outcome of your marriage. So if you are a lady, for instance, you don't have any kids or you can have kids again, and you're with a Nigerian man who hasn't had kids before, and he's telling you everything is fine, don't worry, don't stress yourself, uh, you have 99% chance that that guy would cheat on you, he would dump you, he will hurt you. 99% chance. Because the truth is, an average Nigerian man wants to have his kids. Even when he maybe like, I don't want to, the family will be on his neck. Like, when are you having kids? When are you raising kids? So this is something. So if you find yourself in a particular situation, it is important to you know leave that situation while you can, because it will come back in the future, to bite you. So marriage and having kids are very important for Nigerian men, especially when you're dating one who is telling you, oh, no problem, no problem, we'll adopt. Before you know, he's pregnant three Nigerian girls even living in the same country with you. So you just have to be very careful. Another question is, what about these women and men who are 50 plus that are dating? Most of the time, you all talk about having children. Most 50 plus women are not thinking about having children. What happens in that case? So this lovely lady, she's asked this question, and I'll be happy to comment on this. So the thing is, a 50 plus lady may not want to have kids. That's true. Perhaps she's done having kids, or she doesn't want to go through the biological stress of getting pregnant and carrying a child for 9 months. Not to talk about delivering that baby. So a lot are done, especially at this age. But the thing is, you can't say the same for a 50 plus years old man, because a 50 plus year man can still have kids, can still decide to make babies. Men can have kids farther, going late into their age compared to compared to women, and that's the truth. So what should you do in this situation? If you meet a Nigerian man who is in 50 plus, and you're getting to know him and you guys are talking, it is very important to understand this situation. Again, does he have kids? Does he have kids? If he's got kids, then you might have no need for the both of you having kids, because maybe if he's got kids, maybe he's not having kids. And you guys can just focus on yourself in the relationship. You also have to know the number of kids or children he's got. The number of children could also give you an insight if this guy might want to have kids. If he's got three, two, four, it is good to ask him. So you think you want to have kids again and stuff. Some may say, no, 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 I'm done having kids. But I've seen cases, yeah, in my page, my channel, where the man say, "Oh, I don't want to have kids again," and then they start dating, and then into the relationship, he starts pressuring the lady, "Let's just have one. Let's find the means of having one." And the lady is like, okay, but this is like a deal breaker. You made me understand in the beginning that you don't want kids anymore because you're done having kids. And along the line, this man starts pushing, and it always ends horribly. It always ends horribly because you see the situation. Mostly, the lady will start saving money, to try IVF or to look for a surrogate mother, because adoption is the last on the list. So it is very important also, to try to find the gender of the kids. It's very important. Has he got male kids, female kids? How many male kids has he got? If he's someone who is very traditional and very backward, he could demand for more male kids. And that's a fact. You may be with a man who's got two girls and one boy, and maybe he's looking for another male child. So it is very important to understand that the fact that you don't want to have kids does not mean that man doesn't want to have kids. And to better understand the situation, you have to know what and where this man is as regards children. Has he got kids? How many has he got? And what are the gender of the kids? And you need to talk this deeply with him. So you don't go deep into relationship with this man in anticipation that this is it, you guys will just focus on yourself. And then along the line, boom, I want kids. And you're like, okay. Because the moment he tells you that, it becomes a license in the future to leave you because you guys will start quarreling about that. Some will like, oh yeah, I know I told you I want kids. I just had one. Don't worry, I will raise the child from afar. The child will not come and live with us. The child will not interfere. I've spoken to the mother. It happens. It happens. So it's very good. You're 50 plus as a lady doesn't mean a man who is 50 plus can have kids. So this is why you need to talk, especially if the man hasn't done vasectomy. If he has done vasectomy, you can like, okay, yeah, okay, then this is not a problem. He can't pregnant anybody, even if he runs loose from you. Okay, so another question. What if he says he's in the midst of a divorce? Her in the US and he's dating. So one advice I would tell any lady here and in the future to come, for those of you who have spoken to me in past, present, and those of you who speak to me in the future, never date a Nigerian man who tells you he's in the divorce process. Yes, never date a Nigerian man who is telling you he's in the divorce process. I tell you this from experience of over a decade. Never date a Nigerian man who tells you he's in the divorce process. Some would paint the scenario directly and indirectly to, make you feel that they settled with a bad lady and they're in the divorce process. And because of this divorce process, a lot of you, once you hear this, you just like jump through it, like start dating this man. Because the man will give you stories, put out things that would make you feel like, okay, true. He's actually saying the truth. And you start dating them after you must have heard and seen convincing stories. But the thing is, you don't know. You don't know. Because a lot of women have been left heartbroken. In fact, there was a time where it was a I'm looking for it was a thing for this man to say, uh, I'm in the divorce process, and then the lady starts dating. Most times, these men tell you they're in divorce process so as not to say, okay, they've divorced their wife, but they still have the license to date you. And then if whatever they want to get, they get it from you. It doesn't take 1 minute or a phone call, to like tell you that, hey, I'm done. I don't want to have this continue with you. I want to go back to my wife. The pressure from home is too much and all of this. And then you're like, okay, uh, what is happening? It happens. So never date a man who is undergoing divorce. It's another way to use to destroy you. If you want to date any Nigerian, make sure everything is finalized. You tell him it's like what they say when you turn 18, come back. When you complete it, come back. I'm telling you, no matter how desperate you are, it destroys and has shattered a lot of women. Another question. After 12 years of marriage, I overheard my husband having a conversation in Igbo language. I had it decoded, and my friend said he was thanking his wife for taking care of his kids, etc. I asked him about it, and he will not come clean at all. On top of that, I had him promising marriage to a side chick to get married back in Nigeria. I filed for a divorce, and these people are telling me that give him a second chance. This is the ultimate betrayal and deceit. Yes, my sister, it is the ultimate betrayal and deceit. 12 years is not 12 weeks. But first of all, I commend you because you were able to decode what was spoken. And this also goes for women who are dating Nigerian men who you don't understand anything about the language. Of course, it may be difficult for you to be fluent, but at least pick interest in the language. Pick interest. It's not like, okay, you're picking this interest so that you catch if it's doing something bad, but you never know. Pick interest. You know, you see women who will be with Nigerian men 15 years, they don't know jack. It is easier to cheat on you. You could be in the parlor or the sitting room with your husband, and he would be speaking in his language, scolding his children in Nigeria, and you don't even know that. So this lady did the right thing. There are there are Nigerians in your country who speak the language of your husband. Pay them weekly to come teach you. Pay them weekly, $10 per hour, or make a contract with them to teach you. It's beneficial for you. You know, this lady, without being able to decode it, she wouldn't have known what was happening. She wouldn't know. You know. So as for her filing for divorce, this also goes to show what I've been saying in my videos that a lot of you who are saying, oh, you're dating a Nigerian man who is in the midst of divorce. Divorcing in Nigeria is not like it is in the United States, where it's like, oh, I fight for divorce and then you pack your bag and then you left and that's it. No, when we marry in Nigeria, it's a family thing. Marriage is a family thing. It's not like somebody just goes there and pick a lady. No, it's a family thing, and this is why I always encourage you guys to go home so the kinsmen and the kindred of your Nigerian man understands that you are married. Now, the family of this man were able to call this lady because they identify her as the wife. So they were able to call him. A lot of you don't even know where your husband is coming from. You just hear it. Oh, he's from this state. You don't go. And if you don't go, you're not. Sometimes you're not recognized. They just know that yeah, he's with one white woman somewhere in this country, or he's with one lady somewhere. But that one we don't recognize as our wife. He has to come back home and get a wife and start raising children. Yeah, children we can see, not these children that have been raised overseas. And one way to stop this is to make yourself known, put your presence in this family. And this is what a lot of women don't do, you know, because look at this guy, been with a woman for 12 years, having a wife with kids already back home. Not only that, he's also having a side chick after having a wife home and away. There's also a side chick. And you see, the promises he was making to the side chick, it's not like he was going to marry that side chick. He was just telling the lady what to hear. So maybe the lady could send some nude pictures, nude videos. And anytime he goes to Nigeria, he rents a hotel to, just to meet the lady, so they could, do practice, to make choir practice, in the hotel. So these things are very, very important. When I say it, take your time and go and introduce yourself to the kinsmen and the kindred of your Nigerian man. Some of you, you will be scared that they will tell you, "Oh, if you go, they will snatch you. You will not come back. Nigeria is not safe." And the guy is going back every year. And when you go to Nigeria, you will see there are a lot of foreigners living in Nigeria. White people. It's not a question of pigmentation. It is easier for us to get married. I could stay from here and ring my grandma and say, I want a wife. What color do you want? Black, yellow, light skin. You want her educated or not educated? Find me somebody who is studying nursing. They go around and they call somebody who is studying nursing. And then, oh, she's from this family. Please go there and introduce yourself to them. I send money to my family. They will take a bus, go to the lady's family, and introduce themselves. Hey, we have a son who is abroad who wants your daughter. He will give her a good life. She will come overseas. and become a top nurse, you know, and then Florence Nightingale. And then what happened? They're like, okay, they call the girl. Yeah, what do you think? They give me the girl's number. We'll make one or two video calls. We're done with video call. I pay the bride price. I send it to them. Send the bride. I don't even have to be there. I pay the bride price. I'm married to that girl. We start talking on phone, and then the next thing, I fly to Nigeria. When I fly to Nigeria, she's waiting for me. I consummate that marriage, start having kids with her, and you won't know. So that's why you need to make your presence known. So when you go there and such a thing is initiated, they will make the girl understand that, listen, he has a wife that is in US, that is in Canada, that's in this part of the world. And chicken, it's done. The family will not have to think, okay, since he has a wife there, I don't want my daughter to get married to a man and then she's trapped here. I want her to live with the husband. That is marriage for me. So it's very important. Another question is, my Nigerian man has two young kids and he sends money too. He's not broke, he's maintaining his bills and still takes me out and buying me things. Or he's saying he's divorced and even talked to his ex-wife while I was in the room. And he made it known to this woman. He made it known that this woman was here. She got mad and got off the phone. I think she divorced him until he would marry me and get his green card and bring her and the kids here. This is why I'm holding out on marriage. Smart lady, you got sense. They say the cutting of phone or everything, it could be a script. It could be a script like, hey, babe, listen, I will call you around 2 o'clock when the woman is here in the room with me. When I say she's here, just vex. Just do vex and ask me, Chukudi, you're looking for Wahala, and then or could they call, babe, how are you? Yes, I just want to tell you that you're disturbing my peace. My wife here, my American wife is here. And you will say, Guinea, American wife, and then she cuts the call, and then you're like, oh wow, wonderful. He's really in love with me. You could tell his wife, you're playing. That's Nollywood home video. And this is why, if you're dating a divorced Nigerian man, there are two things. A Nigerian man who is telling you he's divorced, there are two things you have to do. One, do not rush to get married. It's not Olympics. It's not Olympics. So don't rush. You're not Usain Bolt. They don't give medal to it. Don't rush. Just look at marriage as a slow and steady thing you do, because it is a lifelong companionship. So don't rush. It's not Olympics. Two, anything they say to you in mouth, action, don't believe it. Verify it. No matter what it tells you, no matter what acting or script they put, do not believe it. Be skeptical. Verify it. Be 100% sure it is verifiable. Because at the end of the day, a lot of you ladies who've brought out your heart to love, you've been used for green card. And before you know, the lady is coming from Nigeria to you. And I tell you guys, an average Nigerian man does not like this that our Nigerian men do. We don't like it, and this is why I'm speaking up and I'm kicking against it. Any Nigerian man who bashes me for saying this has a problem. He's part of a problem in the society. Another question is, what if he doesn't have it and he's not financially stable in general? For example, he doesn't have a car. Yeah, he has a wisdom teeth that he can't get put because he doesn't have the money. I have even offered to help him, but I didn't tell him that he has to pay me back. However, he did decline. So this lovely lady asked this from a video I made, the reason why your Nigerian man is not providing for you. So, guys, listen. It is true that you might meet a Nigerian man who is not financially stable, and you fall in love with him. That's one lovely thing about falling in love, right? So, there's something I want to put out here. Now, there is a difference with someone not being financially stable and someone not having any source of income at all. So, if your Nigerian man has a source of income, no matter how small, and he wants to show you love, don't decline it. Sometimes it's a test. Because one thing a lot of you don't understand is You have to give this man the opportunity to show that he cares. I'm not saying you take away all his money. I mean, you can't compare the strength of naira to dollar or euro or pounds or whatever currency you're using in Europe. You can't compare the strength of naira to it. But you know, giving from small you have is it's good. And this is why I say be of that habit where you make sure that the person you with is a giver, is someone who understands and is not going to think twice in going the extra mile to give you. It's a sign also that this person, when things get better, this person would provide for you. It's very important because one mistake some women make is that they shelter all the bills, they do everything, and then this guy comes into the country and then starts making money, and then the lady starts complaining about money because people don't talk about finance. You don't talk about finance, and it's one of the leading causes of breakups, problems in marriages, in relationship. So you have to talk about finance, and you have to make sure that you're with someone who cares. And before you also want to get married to a Nigerian, make sure this Nigerian you want to get married is skilled. If he's not skilled, make sure he's educated. Make sure this person has the motivation, even if he comes to your country, to even go and, for instance, if he has to start over, take a GED or something. These things are very important. Very, very, very important. Very important. So there's no crime if he doesn't have money or if he's not financially stable. But the moment he has a source of income, no matter how small it is, don't like say, "Oh no, the naira is too small. I don't need it." Even if it's a candy that can buy for you, prioritize seeing it. In the future, it will go a long way. Make the man understand that look, you have a duty. Now I understand things are not good. So he doesn't think like, oh yeah, she's a strong woman, she's gonna take care of everything. My sister, you will get old quick. All right. So somebody said, I'm so honored as a man, you're opening our eyes to simple fact about your culture. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to get messages like this. Thank you too. Thank you. You see, some of you send me messages threatening me, reports some of you make on my channel, hate speech. I wonder why I'm making hate speech. But thank you very much, your darling. I really appreciate you saying this. I tell you this as Nigerians, we don't endorse scamming. An average Nigerian does not like it because it throws our name in the wrong mix of things. So an average Nigerian man would definitely kick against it, and this is what I'm doing. Totally kick against it every way I can possibly. So a lady said, after watching your last video, I'm scared that my Nigerian man may not love me for who I am or for other reasons. How can you know if your Nigerian man loves you for who you are? Well, I would be very fast with this. Now, look, your Nigerian man can and could and might love you for who you are. But the question is, who are you? Who are you? Is it loving you because you're beautiful? Is it loving you because you've got nice body, you've got good character, you're kind, you're homely, you're respectful, or in quotes, the perfect wife material? So, what is the perfect wife material? The perfect wife material is not something that is initiated just because of, oh, I love you. No, there are things that comes up with it. As I've said, there must be an addition to why the Nigerian man is coming for you. If a Nigerian man loves you and he hasn't had kids, he wants to have children. If a Nigerian man loves you and he says that, okay, you could also improve his life because you're a doctor or a nurse, he would take that as opportunity for the future. So it is very, very important to all know why this man is with you. Why is he with you? Or you will have problem in future because you may not meet his standards. And the moment you don't meet his standards, you have a problem. So you have a self-reflection. Look at why this dude is with you. Have a clear picture. You know, this is one of the reasons why you see more than half of the Nigerians who marry to women in the Western world, they come back home to get married because a lot of them married without the woman actually understanding what this guy wants in a woman. So when they realize you can't give them what they want, they go back in situ. And in situ means they go back to Nigerian women who basically understand what the Nigerian man wants in a woman. Yeah, that's just it. So, guys, as always, if you got a question, write me on this uh, Contact on the screen. Like, share, subscribe. Sorry, it's a long video. 100 Nigeria. Peace out.